Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Look at that. That's how you do it, Bashir. Anyway, Social Critics, episode 33. Follow us on social media. What's it? On Instagram specifically, social_critics with 2 S's. We got Bashir in the building today. We have Sumie here. We have me here. And we do not have Curtis and Driss, but we have a special guest here today. Say your name, young man.
I thought you was going to say one.
Randy. His name's Randy.
Okay. Yeah, I like that intro a little better than Bashir's, though.
All right. We're going to talk about this?
Yeah, we tried to do an intro.
We're not going to talk about this. When I say we're going to talk about this, like, stop.
No, we'll talk about it. This was take 2 because Bashir did our first intro.
Driss, I don't think this shit fucked up. I just think you didn't like it.
I don't know. I'm just joking.
Yeah, all right.
Anywho,
yeah.
How's your week, guys? I'm here still.
Well, you guys, everyone here's seen Avengers. Is that
yes
what we're going off of? All right, I haven't seen it, but again, I'm cool with spoilers and whatnot. So I want.
You know what? We won't give every spoiler out because we'll be somewhat mindful because the theaters were pretty packed where it would have been hard to see it the first week. I'll say that. But everybody dies, essentially.
Yes.
That's literally what happens.
I don't think they die.
That's a big time spoiler.
I hope.
I mean, okay, there's a lot of speculation about, there's obviously a 4th Avengers coming. Some of the heroes that did die already have sequels coming out. So that's another, they're probably not really dead.
I hope that is the case.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Why?
I mean, they gotta
Why do you hope that's the case?
Because they gave us Black Panther and they took him away a few months ago.
Spoiled it.
Yo, Driss was in the movie theater, and right when that nigga died, he's like, they would have killed the only black fucking superhero.
They killed 2 black guys, though, in the movie. Let's not forget.
Yes. Oh, Sumie was hurt early.
Also, yeah, I will just say, everyone knows, Idris Elba ends up dying at the beginning. I literally went towards Bashir because I knew he would be sensitive to my feelings, and I go, no! And Driss goes, let's go!
Yeah, he was the only one in the theater, like, celebrating. I don't know why.
Nobody was
obviously I
celebrating.
know why, because the nigga's crazy.
No, it's a good movie, though. It's a really good movie. I really don't even think you have to actually watch any of them, because I honestly think this was the highest ranked Avengers. Like, a lot of people that I talk to that never have seen any Marvel movie have seen this one and loved it.
What's up with the hate for Captain America?
I don't like Captain America.
Because right when that nigga, like, hit the scene, there was a lot of clapping, and then you just hear Driss and, like, Sumie, like,
I liked him more in this one. I normally don't like him, but I liked him a little more in this one. He's
darker?
He's a little darker than this time.
I did like him more in this one because he is darker. I just think the true leader of the Avengers is Iron Man.
Yeah.
I don't think it should have ever been Captain America.
So who's this Thanos nigga that everyone's talking about?
He's the
He's
villain.
a thug.
He's a Debo.
He is.
Debo of Avengers.
He's probably the worst. Like, when I say worst, I mean like the most dangerous / scariest, most terrible villain of all superheroes.
You know what I hated? And I always nitpick at movies, but there's like a lot of parts where it could have been like, the whole movie would have ended right there if you just like cut his arm off. You remember when they tried to take like the glove off?
Yeah.
Cut his arm. Just cut it in half.
They could have done it there.
Yeah, but that would have ruined the storyline that
whole
they're
movie.
trying to go.
Or if Thor would have just hit him in his head, like he said.
You know?
He said, should
They
have
were
aimed for the
soft.
head.
Remember those two? You remember her or his children when they let the motherfuckers live?
Gamora.
Who they killed? They killed somebody. Someone we like. I don't know.
Yeah, those creepy looking. Yeah, it was a long movie. It was like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
but you were like constantly entertained, whether it was like action or comedy or like somebody freaking died because so many people freaking died.
Oh yeah, that 2 hours like blew by.
Yeah,
quickly.
It didn't feel like 2 hours at all.
I wanted more. I would say.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Great. I'm glad you guys liked Avengers. Yo, let's listen. No. I mean, spoiler alert to everybody. Y'all gave away a lot of spoilers. I'm gonna check it out. Not in theaters, probably on my laptop illegally. Kanye. I thought we were gonna be done with him last week. Apparently not. Apparently,
so it's a choice.
400 years of slavery was a choice.
Well, can we give a little bit of backstory for those who might not have heard it? I don't know. Maybe you've been living under a rock.
It is.
But so he did 2 interviews. He did one with Charlemagne the God. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw some clips. It was cool. It was a weird side of him. Actually, it wasn't a weird side of him. He's just a weird guy. But it was one that was a little different dynamic. Then like he did the TMZ interview.
Oh my
Ooh,
god!
And what's his name? Ripped him.
Who ripped him? What's the guy's name? The black guy. What's his name?
I almost thought it was fake when I initially saw it.
Why'd you think it was fake?
I was like, I didn't first. I was like, why is Kanye at TMZ?
That's weird.
Hold on. Sumie, hit us with the point about the liposuction. What do you get?
Well, let's stay on point for a second.
But that was in the TMZ shit.
I know, but like, we can get to that point. I just want to, why was he in TMZ in the first place? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Promotion.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
It's as inaccurate as TMZ is. I mean, it is the most widespread.
So that's why he was there to confront the head of TMZ. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's why he came in.
I was gonna say he always has a problem with paparazzi, so why would he be at TMZ?
That's why I was
But I think
confused
he
in the
was
first
trying to
place.
address it head on, like being there in person is different than just like putting out another tweet. You know what I mean?
True. Okay, so he's in TMZ. He's chilling in there. He's talking to who's the head of TMZ? I don't even know
I
that
don't remember
nigga's
the
name.
white
guy's
dude?
name.
The white guy. Yeah.
I don't.
Bald head.
We should probably do research before we do this shit. Who cares? He's talking to the white guy and the black guy with long dreads, and then out of nowhere he's talking about free thinking, all of that shit. Which I hate that term now. Free thought. It used to be cool. Now it's not cool
I think
anymore.
it's being taken advantage of in its meaning.
Well, free thought doesn't necessarily mean you say whatever the fuck comes or whatever
need a
you think, and
filter.
you just shoot it out of nowhere. You need to fucking do your due diligence before you speak. But in his case, yeah, bro, I don't know him, man. So it was the 400-year comment that pissed everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys feel about that?
I have a theory on Kanye.
Okay.
I think Kanye of later years has always made a living off of being different.
Mm.
So I think he's just running out of ways to be different.
So
Like-
you think? So, I kind of like that. So you're saying he's just going against the grain to go against the grain?
I think so.
Yeah, that pisses me off actually.
Like being different than his version of himself
Just
every year.
Like,
Or like
most black people
yeah.
are against Trump, so
Yeah.
he's like,
Let me not say it pisses me off, but it kind of aggravates me when people go against the grain just to go against the grain.
just because
to
it's
do
not
it,
them.
yeah.
Especially when you can tell that they're forcing the
Yeah.
Do you think he really believes the stuff that he says, or do you think it's for that purpose where he just?
I don't know. I feel like he's just trying to be different. I don't feel like any black person raised in the hood could ever feel that way.
Yeah.
You never know, man. He might be. He's not. He's been rich for a long time. Maybe he's just not in tune with what's going on.
I mean, he's having a lot of revelations. I mean, the theme of his entire album is forgiveness, right? For the surgeon.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if it's one of those he had an epiphany one day and then found inspiration to write his album. So this is his promotion.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is
all
all
in
the
all,
hype
yeah,
that leads
it's
up to
marketing.
his
There's
album.
promotion, and then there's just like, yo, bro, like, at what point you're Kanye West? You don't need promotion. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Jay-Z drops an album, he doesn't need to go out saying crazy shit, hyperbolic shit. He just
But that's
goes
not
out.
his style. But it
True.
is Kanye's style.
True, but Kanye's to the point where it's like you don't even need to do that. You can
Yeah.
just come out and drop you got Nike or not Nike. You got your Adidas line. You got all of these different fashion ventures. Why with the antics? And even if you do, I think his whole point was to create a dialogue, right?
Yeah.
You could do that without bringing up 400 years of slavery. You know what I'm saying?
He could, but that's not Kanye.
But his I'm almost motif is always controversy.
Yeah.
Like that's like what he thrives off of. That's what he makes his money off of. I don't think that's ever going to go away.
I think this one will have more backlash than most people think it will.
What do you think?
Because of the election, because of the
Yeah.
administration that's in the U.S. right now.
What do you think his numbers are going to be, though?
That's what I'm saying. As far as that, a lot of people, like I heard a lot of celebrities unfollowed him on social media and everything.
Quickly.
That doesn't matter.
I mean,
think that really
I just
matters.
think it's going to have some more backlash than most people think it
Yeah.
will.
But
Most
do you-
people are like, it's not going to do anything.
Do
I
you-
think it's going to do something.
Okay, so you think it's going to actually affect his sales?
I think so.
I think it's. I actually
it's-
think the opposite. that it's going to create a more diverse following for him. Like people who probably didn't respect him, who probably we disagree with, might actually give him a chance with his music.
Just to support. So you think there's going to be people who are going to support just to support because
he's not looking for the approval of celebrities. I don't think he's looking for the approval of anybody. I just think it's his tactic of creating like a widespread.
He's a weird guy, man. It's so hard to get a gauge on what he's thinking. Because I don't know if he, at this point, I don't know if he like genuinely is trying to piss people off or he really thinks this shit. Like I don't know.
There was a point in the Charlemagne episode thing they had where Charlemagne asked about like, you think your mom would be happy about what you're doing right now?
Oh, I remember that. Actually.
And it was just like, this is when they were walking in the fields and shit. He's quiet. Just like that. And he goes,
was that for dramatic effect?
That kind of was.
Good, though,
I know. But, and then he goes like, after a little more pause, he goes, well, I don't have to think like my mom. And I'm like, this nigga probably really thinks this shit.
Wait.
Like, all right, she said, do you think you would approve with all this?
No, I know what you mean. It's just trying to wrap your mind around what he's thinking at the moment is wild, bro. Like, this nigga, I don't know.
Like, you can see the answer in his face already. Like, the answer is no, she wouldn't approve of this. And you can see in his face, and he just pauses.
But he didn't want to
such
say
a minute.
it.
You know what he's great at doing? He's great at diverting. Like, somebody will ask him a question, and they'll just be like, he'll think about it, and then like switch the subject, or like not even answer it briefly, but kind of dance around the question and then change the subject.
I got a question because we got a lot of answers from this Charlemagne conversation. Were we asking for this?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, we want to hear what Kanye is thinking. Like, why'd you do this and why'd you do that?
Yeah, but is
speaking.
What he's saying actually what he's thinking, or is it his way of rebelling against like the norm?
Why wouldn't it be his thinking?
That's true.
I don't know.
That's a weird. Like, what if you are today or tomorrow and you just start tweeting a bunch of things? I don't see you for a month and you keep tweeting a bunch of things. And I see you and I'm like, yo, fuck, was this really you, or were you trying to promote your business that you're getting?
I don't think if I'm putting myself in Kanye's shoes, or this is just me.
It's just him.
You're not getting a straight answer out the guy. I don't know what he only knows what he's thinking. I don't even know if he knows what he's thinking.
Look at some of his older rap lyrics and then look at what he's saying now.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, this nigga is just
hypocrite. Do you guys think some of the questions were staged?
The questions from
the Charlemagne interview?
Oh.
What do you mean?
Like, staged as in like they talked about do you think that they went over the list of questions and then Kanye had time to think over it?
Oh, okay. So like they are in on it too, kind of thing.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly. That doesn't look like, no disrespect to Charlemagne, that doesn't seem like the interview that he would normally give. I mean, granted, he's usually with two other people, but so that switches up the dynamic. But this was like some like.
No, remember, he had a thing with Joe Budden. His rapport was way different than with Kanye.
Yeah, sure.
And like the questions that he should have said after some shit Kanye would say, he would just wait and look back at his list and be like,
oh yeah, because he did have a full blown list of questions. That's why I don't know.
Try to get it. Yeah, like,
I mean, a talk show. There's different talk shows that really do that. Like the person's publicist talks to the producer of the show, and they say, "Okay, do not ask these questions. These are off limit questions." Or
that's never really been Charlemagne,
right? So I think it depends on the formality of a podcast or talk show or whatever.
And it was weird because Kanye said, "I thought of you while I was in the bed. I wanted to talk to Charlemagne first." But that's not really fucking Charlemagne.
Ellen DeGeneres put both like Kris Jenner and Kim on her talk show, and she asked them both the question, like, what do you think? What do you think about his tweets? What do you think about the way? And they're just so
recent?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it recently?
It was like one of the.
Hold on, you said Kris Jenner or the other?
Kris Jenner, so the mom, and Kim, and like. It's crazy how supportive that they all are of him, because they were like, he speaks his mind, he's free thinking, like this, just so like it's almost so much support that it just seems like something's off. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Is he sunken?
It's a sunken place.
I don't know if it's they're supporting or it just goes with the Kardashian brain, like they like controversy. That's just what I mean. So it's like, yeah, we support it. Brings more attention to us.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't care.
Oh, yeah.
What were you asking, Bashir? With my fault.
Oh, is he sunken?
In the sunken place,
Yeah.
bro. Driss, what? Driss ain't even on the podcast today, and he's just causing a ruckus.
A ruckus.
Is he in the sunken place? I don't know.
I don't know what place he's in.
What is
it's
what
not
is
even in the
the
sunken place.
What is the sunken place? Like, I mean, I know the movie, I saw it, but I'm just saying, like, what does that mean? Like
You mean in a different mind? Like
his wife is corrupting him?
Like,
or
yeah,
some shit?
his wife is like hypnotizing him.
Well, who do you think is more influenced from the other, Kim or Kanye? Who do you think
both influence one another?
Yeah.
Would you notice? I mean, well, I guess
don't-
it's hard to say for you guys, but
I think he's too hard to influence.
That's what I was going to say. I don't see him really taking much influence from Kim.
No. I think he's using them.
He's using the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I mean, he uses her as a promotion for
course.
all his
Of course.
True,
fashion
yeah.
line.
She's got a lot of
always
shit.
wearing his stuff. Anytime she posts a picture, it's always his line. So she's just a walking promotion.
Let me marry Kim Kardashian. Let me drop a line. She's in fashion. She can rock my shit. My shit's gonna be popping.
But honestly,
His shit's popping.
I could see him only. That marriage to me was weird.
Yeah, they were friends forever though, way before they even got married.
I talked about this on the other podcast when
Yeah.
they recorded them first, like him spitting at her, like going out on dinner.
This is crazy.
He was actually trying to spit at her.
Oh yeah, we brought that up last week. This is the most pop culture I've ever talked about in my life. This is making me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm not gonna. So like, all right. Last question on Kanye before we move on, because I'm. Hopefully, this is the last we have to talk about him before
It's
his
not.
album. I know it's not. That's
He's
what
gonna
makes
come
me
up with something.
fucking-
I'm
This
still
week.
excited for that Cuddy, him and
Sure. Well,
Cudi
that's
shit.
what I wanted to get back to. The music, real quick. Are you guys gonna check out his project at all? You gonna listen to the album?
That funny song that was for DJ Envy or whatever. List of yourself. Have you heard it?
No.
He dropped something. The start of it you would love. Oh, you would fuck with.
Okay.
At the end, he like does some dibbity dabbity boop, dibbity bop, bop, and some dumb shit. But the start of it is so fire.
Yeah.
His album is gonna be good. It's Kanye West. Remember that?
That's what killed me when I heard him saying all this stuff. I seen that he was doing the collab with Cudi first, and it killed me that he was saying all that stuff. Now I'm like, dang, I don't want to support it.
Deja Vu.
So you're
hold on. Deja Vu. Y'all go back to the last episode. I said that word for word,
Yeah,
Randy.
That-
Word
he
for
did say
word.
that.
I was so happy.
So you're not gonna support a Kanye album at all?
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah. I
But-
mean, yeah.
I don't
What do you
want to
mean
support.
you're gonna have to listen? If you don't have, you don't have.
You can
to.
stream it. You don't have to
You don't
download
have
it.
to if you
Nobody's
don't want
putting a
to.
gun to your head saying you got to listen to Kanye.
Well, I'm supporting Cudi then, and
Right.
listening to
So
it.
Kanye's solo album, how about that?
If he has his own album,
Yeah, he does. He does have his own album.
If he was dropping his own album without Cudi on it, I wouldn't listen to it.
He is.
so you feel
I
that
think
you feel that,
everybody-
everybody. I think
Hold on,
everyone's going
hold
to
on.
listen to it.
so you feel that strongly about it.
I feel that strongly
about what
about
he
it.
said. So the slave comment is what got you.
Yeah.
That was a bad comment. I think I know what he was trying to say. It was bad.
Well, he needs to come out and talk to somebody and come out and
that was-
articulate it the right
for
way.
people who don't know. I mean, I think everyone knows by now, but I can't even recite exactly what he said. It was just dumb, and this is why you don't talk. He just talks too much. So damn. So you're not listening to it at all. You're
No.
done.
I have to listen to the Cudi one.
Yeah. Okay. So you
But-
gonna listen to his album?
I will, just out of curiosity. I'm not saying my reasons are.
Yeah.
I would definitely stream it.
Okay.
Definitely stream
You're
it.
gonna stream it? Okay. So I'm looking on here. Kanye West invited to visit slave ports in Africa by Nigerian lawmaker. So he was invited. Yeah. Fuck. Nigerians.
Those Nigerians are so smart motherfuckers.
Yeah, they are.
They know where that money is.
Yo,
they know
dog, they come
promotion.
over here and they make a lot of bread.
That's marketing.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out his album for sure. But yeah, look, people change. I go back to what my dad said. You do not fall in love with the person. You fall in love with the creative or the talent.
I
That's
love
it.
that quote.
Yeah, no,
That's
you
such
can't. You can't be obsessed over what they're.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because I feel like when it comes to artists, like so much of their music is them. So it's so hard. A lot of their inspiration is
Damn.
It's hard to
them.
separate. The only way I can separate it is if they're like R. Kelly or something like that, or like.
well, no, I mean like an athlete, for instance, like they don't I mean, I guess some of them can play like their personality if they're like a dirty player. But I'm saying like it's different because that's them off the court versus on. But like an artist is just their music is them. It's like that's what their personality is. So it's so hard because you just are kind of torn when you're listening to them.
Yeah, I mean, nah, I can still tell.
Like women, like gosh, I'm not gonna jump on that. But
No, because I'm look when I said this before, R. Kelly, I fuck him, fuck him, bro. You pissed on a 14-year-old girl. Fuck you.
I think it's just
Like it's over, bro.
I
I'm
think
cool.
it's just this like the type of like celebrity you are. Because if we broke down every person you really like in your life, like that you just like to see, the movies, like to listen to, they got some dirt behind them. They've done shit. They say dumb shit. You just not. No one's like showing it. No one's like showing you.
It's different with musicians, though. They put their lives. I mean, I don't know.
It's hard.
There's a lot of musicians. I would say definitely with musicians. Like say Tom Misch. Say we fuck with him right now. We haven't heard anything bad about him. But say he blows up, something's gonna happen where Tom Misch smacked a black girl.
And we got.
And then we're gonna be like, oh fuck, they're trying to get Tom.
You find the underlying.
They're trying to get Issa Rae out of here. Remember? Did you hear that shit?
No, what happened?
What is
They're
she?
trying to get Issa Rae out of here.
For what?
I was listening to another podcast when it was talking about it, which I was being informed on, that she was like, yo, Korean or Asian men, like black women should stop fucking with niggas.
Okay.
They should start fucking with Asian men.
And why is that?
Because black women and Asian men have stereotypes that they have like the most negative stereotypes on them, which there's some shit like that. They're just trying to get her out of here. The African American, yeah, some shit like this.
No, I'm broing at your explanation. What the fuck?
I can't say it.
What you mean you can't say it?
I didn't really listen to what you're saying, but they're just trying to get her out of here, dog.
Well, everyone's trying to get everyone out of here.
Why?
And I don't
Why?
know. This is a weird time.
That's
like
what I'm
you
saying.
say one bad thing and people are like, "You're done forever." That's
I think you just have to be so careful how you phrase an answer because even though what you're trying to say, it's not going to be portrayed that way because people are going to quote, like Kanye, for instance, like what he might
should
have
just
been
stop
trying to
talking,
say. No one's going to understand the
I
context.
think what he was
behind
trying to say is we've been mentally enslaved for 400 years, but he should stop talking because he doesn't know how to convey
Then you
a
shouldn't
message
open
properly.
a statement with
that's
slavery's
why-
a choice.
He doesn't know his influence.
I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what's in that guy's mind. Like, that's just a horrible way to say something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's rational who's defending that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody I know is just like, yeah, bro, you say that. I can understand why some people are like, I'm not listening to his fucking album. That makes sense to me, bro. Like, and I'm going to listen to his album because it's Kanye West. He's a creative, and I can for the most part, I can separate the person from the talent. I understand when other people can't, though. And that makes sense to me when people are like, yeah, I can't rock with that.
I can with certain things, but it's hard to, if you really follow somebody and really like somebody, it's hard to separate it. Like how I like Chris Brown. Like
So,
I feel
okay,
like-
all right. So Rainey has a huge affinity for Chris Brown. When he did what he did in the past, did it stop you from listening to his music at all? Or
I said there's two sides to the story.
So you don't believe?
I think he,
That
you know,
Did you hear the actual story of what actually happened?
no.
I'm just asking. Do you
We're
believe?
asking you now, nigga. Inform us.
Man, she did. She was just as much as the problem as he was. I'm not saying what he did is right at all. He still should have he controlled himself, even though they say he has bipolar disorder.
That's
But-
not.
And we're talking
But
about
he still should
Rihanna in the car.
Yeah, he still should have controlled himself. But I mean, she grabbed his nuts and everything. There's two sides.
I mean, she's
to it.
crazy. She's pretty bad shit crazy.
And that's what they said.
This is news to me. I don't know any of this.
And to me, when he does something wrong, I feel like a disappointed father.
Okay, so but you don't feel that way with Kanye.
I don't follow Kanye like that, and like what he's doing, like I'm really big on the race thing too.
Okay, so
I'm not racist at all, as y'all know. I mess
Do you
with
fuck
white
with
women.
Sabrina Claudio?
he said, "Y'all know I mess with the white women."
But but like for like a long time, people always like, "Oh, you act white."
Yeah, I think anybody who enunciates their words gets called
Proper.
that. Yeah.
Like that pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm not loud and ignorant. So all black people are loud and ignorant is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's my problem with that is that you're making it seem like black people are a monolith, which that's not the case. They're completely just like there's different types of white people, there's different types of black people, Asian people, all of that. But yeah, damn, Randy, you did seem like you got a little upset there. We can hash it out. Do you want some therapy real quick? All right, cool. But
I think it's always hard when a celebrity with that high of status like says something that rubs you the wrong way. It's hard.
I like that dynamic though, because Randy. All right, so I'm gonna have to be honest with you. You're moving the goalpost though, because you really like Chris Brown. So what if somebody really loved Kanye and they can make that excuse for Kanye? I mean, that like, oh, so you're accepting? You're saying that it's cool.
It's I mean, it's cool for them. There's just certain things that you're kind of like,
yeah, you can't get over. Yeah.
I mean, I'd argue a lot of people. I think Rihanna almost got double the amount of backlash for going back to him because she was such a female.
Did she go back to him?
I thought she was crazy for going back to him.
She went back to him.
No, I didn't know she
That was the whole
went back to him.
controversy. Is they thought like, okay, she's going to stand for women. She has so many young girls that look up to her, follow her, and she went back to her unsaid, abuser. Is kind of how they described it. So it's like, what is the example that she's setting? What kind of tone is she setting? So hers was even worse because, I mean, at the end, like what Randy said, there ended up being two sides of the story, and neither of their sides were right. But it was almost like, Chris Brown like had his punishment. Everybody had the whole hate movement for him, but it was like almost like a lot of people lost respect for Rihanna in a sense.
But she gained that back real quick
because she's a girl. Because she's a girl, and her wounds were shown. So it was a little bit of. I'd say that's a double standard, and I'm saying that as a girl.
Yeah, my mom hates that. My mom used to tell me to fight girls.
Yo, what?
Like, because my mom hates that a girl will hit a man knowing that he won't hit her.
Oh yeah,
that's a fucked up girl.
Well, my thing is, everybody should keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah, that's
period. Like, oh yeah, is that your mom who said? Oh no, that's
if a girl steps to you like a man, knock her down like a man.
Okay. Someone else said my fist. Someone else said one time my fist are bisexual.
That's a bona fide Randy quote I use.
Yo,
that.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, that is wild.
That's a good double standard, though.
That was a joke, though.
I know. Randy would never do that. But that just, I mean, it's funny when it becomes your favorite artist, then you'll make the excuse for him. Like, because I was talking to our good friend Ant, and he's a huge Kanye fan, and he's defending what the guy's saying. I don't necessarily agree with everything, especially the slavery comment. I'm cool on that. Like, but
what did Ant have to say about that?
He just said he was just saying the media is out to get. I mean, he had a bunch of posts. I don't want to put words in his mouth either.
Okay.
So, but it was interesting to hear that, and he was making, I think, valid points. But it's just easy. It's crazy to hear what people will say when they like somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite artist. If they did something really, really, really bad, I'm not listening. Like R. Kelly pissed on a 14-year-old girl. I can't listen to Step in the Name of Love. I really like that record.
That's hard not to do right there, though.
But it's, bro, you pissed on a 14-year-old girl on camera. I can't co-sign with you.
But I'm already like rocking in my head to the song right now too.
I know it's a great song.
I'm
it pisses me off.
to the song in my head.
It's a really good song, and that's why I hate that Robert Kelly had to do that. But
you always make excuses for
people like
people do it for Michael Jackson. Man, Michael Jackson might have touched little boys allegedly.
He might have.
It's kind of weird.
A lot of weird. Talk about it.
Nah, he did, man. I mean, man.
See, that's what we're talking about, though. I can't talk about it. It's so sad.
See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I agree with that statement.
Oh well, I think hopefully that's the end of the Kanye talk. Yo, I'm sorry if we kept going on with that. Actually, I'm not sorry. Fuck y'all. Y'all could have left. Y'all could have left at any time. I'm gonna be putting a gun to your head to continue to listen to us.
And you're still here.
And you're still listening.
Shots fired.
Sure.
Randy, how's the seas, dog? How's the waters?
This is why we brought you on.
Can you talk about your deployments, your previous deployments? Stories about that?
Well,
first and foremost, how about we just
give a background?
Let's start it up. Randy, you were in the Navy.
Yes.
how do you like the Navy? Or is that bad? I shouldn't ask that question.
What's your proper name?
What
like your
in the
title?
Navy?
Sergeant.
ABH3 Price.
So what
Private.
what kind of ranking is that? Like, what does that mean?
It's I am a E4. It's like all the military goes E1 through E9. I think that's E1 through E9, and then it goes officers, which officers they go with O's instead of E's.
Oh, okay.
The E stands for enlisted. The O stands for officer. I think
Higher rank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So when it comes to the Navy, what are like the demographics of people who are in the, well, I don't know if you know obviously you don't know everybody in the military, but from what your experience is like, is it really diverse or is it just kind of like minorities in it? Or is it like, well, what are the demographics?
It's pretty diverse. Surprisingly, there's actually a lot of black people in the Navy.
Really?
Yes. And I can tell you the exact reason why.
Why is that?
The reason why is because everybody hears the Navy is probably the easiest branch to be in.
Would you
Really?
say? Would you agree?
I wouldn't agree.
Okay.
Why?
Well, okay, it's the easiest when it comes to you ain't going out in the field and shooting people up.
So yeah, people are afraid to be Marines and
Yeah.
in the Army and whatnot.
Like in a
But-
combat situation.
Yeah, but as far as sacrifice, it's probably the hardest.
What do you mean?
Like, you're going out for, well, let's just say you're on a ship. When I got to my ship, I got there in October, went on deployment in February. So what you'll do when you're going out is your ship has to qualify to go out to sea. So you'll be out for a week, in for a week, out for 2 weeks, in for a week, out for 3 weeks, in for a week. Then you might get like 4 weeks off. Then you'll go back out for 3 weeks. Then you'll come back in for a week. Then you go back out for a month. Then you come back in for like a few months. Then you'll
It's
go.
all qualifying.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you'll go out for like a supposed to be 8-month deployment and it turns into 9 or 10.
Okay.
What's the
So you
longest?
qualify. Oh, go ahead.
Damn, Bashir always ready to cut somebody off. Go
Wait,
ahead,
wait,
son.
wait.
Can
wanted
we
to keep
recap when
going.
Bashir tried to finish Curtis's question last week?
Yo, niggas are waiting for Curtis to finish. Bashir's just like, I mean, I'll help you out, Curtis. I bet.
I love you.
What happened?
Oh my god. Well,
mean-
I'll ask my question then.
Ask
What's
your
the
question.
longest? I don't know if I'm asking this correctly, but what's the longest deployment you've been out on?
I went out. My first one was 9 months.
Was that expected or was that just?
It was only supposed to be 8 months.
Oh my god.
And it got extended a whole extra month
Suck it up.
because of ISIS.
Oh, my bad. Horrible timing.
Ignorant laugh has got to go.
Horrible timing.
Talking about cutting things off.
That was the first one was when ISIS like really got
Okay, so this is 2011, 2012, 2013, actually, right around that.
2014.
14? Okay, yeah. So they're heavy in Iraq. And see, that's what I was really happy to have you on for, because I think we look at politics now, and yeah, I'm sorry, we're going to bring up a little bit of politics, but it literally ties into what Randy's doing. We look at politics here domestically and we're just like, oh, we're away from all of this other shit that's going on around the world. We're thinking about problems here. You kind of look at it from like a world view in a way. You know what I'm saying? So how does being in the Navy shape your, like, you don't need to specify your political view, but how does it shape that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it doesn't really change it.
it doesn't? Okay.
A lot of people say you can't be in the middle, but I think I'm about as in the middle as you can be.
That's a good thing to hear though.
Yeah, that is actually
Yeah.
reassuring.
Because I mean, I don't like Trump.
Sure.
Trump's going to bring more money to the military, supposedly. I mean, he's for the military, he says.
So, all right. So now I got another question, because this is where, I don't know, maybe me and you differ on this. I don't think the military needs any more money. I think it has enough money to because I think we, as America, I think America is an imperialistic country. I think we have troops in over 100 countries. We have like 30,000 troops still in Germany. I think we just have way too many people out everywhere. I think if we defunded the military a little bit, we could allocate that towards things here. We talked a lot about that last week. So how do you feel about that? You disagree, agree?
As far as expanding the military, I don't think we really need to expand the military. I think we have plenty in every branch.
Mhm.
But as far as pay for people in the military,
So you're specifically talking about pay.
Yes.
Okay. See that, but I think I like you bringing up that point because I think it's a little bit different than because they feed a lot of money to the Pentagon, and these arms dealers that are making a bunch of money every time we sell weapons to, say, Saudi Arabia or to Israel. We're making a huge amount of money doing that, and I think that's why we continue to fund the military, but we don't actually help out our veterans at all. Like, you see how many homeless people are out there chilling on the street. If you go to
the
LA,
VA really getting
sure,
support.
yeah. You go to LA right now, there's a bunch of homeless people on the street. I can almost assure you a good number of those people served, which is that's tragic that these people who spent their lives fighting for our country aren't being properly paid. So you're looking at it from a, hey, we need money for us to get paid as well. We need benefits as well. We're serving our country. I like that point of view. So you're saying politics here hasn't shaped you in any way, shape, or form? Or okay,
It doesn't really change me at all. But like you're out there sacrificing your life. You could die, and you're making $20,000 a year.
That's wild.
Wow.
Rainey, how long have you been in the military?
Just hit my 5-year mark last month.
Wow. Congrats.
Thank
So
you.
you've been in the military with 2 presidents that's been in term.
Yeah.
No change in like funding, or you actually see change while you were in the military.
Nothing noticeable has really happened.
No.
Yeah, nothing noticeable has really happened as far as, I mean, the thing that scared me about if Hillary was to make it is she wanted to like get rid of a lot of our stuff with the military.
Like,
But
what specifically do you know?
Like she wanted to cut a lot of things in half as far as our military. So we are a very hated country.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Which is why I think.
Do you think we're too involved in international affairs?
Yeah, that's why.
Like,
well, okay. So, for example, when you're droning the fuck out of people in the Middle East that are innocent, so say you got this wedding that people are at, and there might be a terrorist or two there, but the majority of people there are just innocent bystanders. You bomb that wedding, and you're just like, hey, whoever dies is collateral damage. Yeah, of course, that kid who was there who saw his innocent mom die, the bride die, and maybe the terrorist who ended up dying, but a lot of innocent people died too. And you're a little kid who survived that. You're going to be like, well, fuck America. That's going to indoctrinate you, or that's going to get you to want to join a terrorist organization.
That's a lot of plots for like villains in movies.
Yeah, sure. Something back Killmonger.
Yeah.
Something back, no, seriously. So I like that because I'm not that big on Hillary either. I wasn't a big fan of her. But I like that thought process there is like, well, she's going to defund the military. I thought she was more of a war hawk. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was somebody who was going to go after, like, you see what's happening in Syria. I thought she was going to be the type of person to be like, all right, well, we're going to bomb the fuck out of the Assad regime and shit like that.
Did you think that because she's been in the war room before?
Sure. Well, she was laughing when Gaddafi got murdered.
Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, she was chuckling. She thought it was hilarious. I'm like, Gaddafi was a bad human being, but and he was a horrible human being. He killed his own citizens. But anytime you're laughing at another human being dying, that's a little, and you're trying to be the leader of the free world, that's a little scary to me.
Some
you have
purge
to be
shit.
you can't be subjective like that.
Sure. So that's interesting though. So how do you, that really is interesting that you're like, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Hillary because she did try to take money. So you're saying she tried to take money away from the military? Like just.
What she was trying to do was, so this comes from an argument with my ex.
Oh, okay.
Because she was like a big Republican, even though she was like a super duper minority.
Yeah.
Is your ex in the military?
She is. But so apparently what Hillary wanted to do was she wanted to kind of cut our military in half. She wanted to.
Was she trying to take away funding from all aspects of military, or like legitimately pull forces out and cut that in half?
Pull forces out, cut some of the ships. So I guess what she was thinking was us doing that would show that we're peaceful, and other countries would be like, oh, okay, they don't want to be violent or anything, but that's not what countries are going to think.
No.
They're going to be like, all right, let's hit them while they're weak.
Right. It's not only hit them while they're weak, they're pulling out. Now we can do some foul shit. I get that.
What was your
way of
ex's
thinking.
argument? What was her stance on it? Because you said
She
she's-
absolutely hated Hillary. She didn't want any Democrat.
Oh, so
in
she
at
wasn't
all.
she wasn't cool at all. Yeah, I don't like any politician. Period. So that I'm out of this when it comes to that. So how did you feel about Bernie then? Did you have any opinion
About
on
Bernie?
him? Yeah. I'm sorry we're asking you all these political questions
Bernie-
too, but it's just like it's interesting.
expected.
Well, it's interesting coming from someone who's actually in the military. I want to get a gauge.
Bernie was the guy I would have rather seen there. But I mean, he has great ideas. But how's he going to make those ideas happen?
That's a
He wasn't realistic.
Randy, I love that point. So Bernie would say some shit like, "Hey, we're gonna make college free. We're gonna make healthcare free." It sounds amazing, but when you're saying you're gonna make healthcare free, that would have cost like $1.2 trillion of taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Like that's out of our dollar. I don't know if I want to subsidize some 19-year-old, 18-year-old kid going to college who I didn't bring you into this world, nigga.
There wasn't enough discipline in his views. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
it just-
obviously, in an ideal world.
Yeah, it sounded like and he kept comparing us to Sweden. Sweden has like 10 million people. We have 330. like it just wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm really happy Randy's on. So what about the Navy? What do you really love about being in the Navy?
Well, actually, I want to
Oh,
piggyback.
yeah, go
Why
ahead, go
did
ahead.
you choose the Navy? And
Why-
then what do you love about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I started off.
Answer the first question first, or her question first.
I took my test with the Coast Guard because I didn't really want to be in the military, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I was ready to kind of start a career and start making money. And I didn't want to be like ridiculously in debt from college. So the Coast Guard took too long to call. And my mom and dad met in the Navy.
Oh, I didn't know your parents served.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So they were both like, go talk to the Navy recruiter. And the Navy recruiter was like, well, we can get you sworn in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's how quick the process is. Like,
it honestly depends when you go. Right now, well, I don't know about now, but when I was joining, it was like a lot of people were trying to get in. So they had what they call the DEP program, the delayed entry program. So you actually have to wait to go to boot camp. It used to be you swear in, you're going to boot camp this day. As soon as you swear in, you're going to boot camp. You're flying or you're getting on the bus to boot camp. Now it's
wow.
you swear in, you wait 4 or 5 months.
But before it was like you hit the ground running
Yeah.
as soon as you start. And then what Alpha asked, what do you love most about it?
That's a hard answer.
That's hard.
I like that. Like right now, I'm on leave, but I'm still going to get the same check.
Is that different than other branches?
No, it's the same. It's the same with every branch, but yeah, I mean, there's really not much to like about the Navy. Not to be honest with you.
Wow. Okay. So, what about the camaraderie? Does that help a little bit? Like being around other people? Do you
That goes into something else of what you get tired of in the Navy.
really? Okay. So you get tired of people. So that's a clash of personality.
You're on a deployment. It differs with ships. My ship, you're in what they call a berthing with 152 other people.
Birthing.
So we have
Damn, that's like the slave ship Kanye was
Hold
talking
on.
about.
How big is this birthing?
not that big. It's stacked with the the racks are 3 high. They're 3 high. They call them coffins because you can barely move in them.
You mean like there's 3 levels?
That is
Like-
really like Kanye's
Oh,
slave
damn.
ship.
A rack, a rack, a rack.
Oh my God.
So you're like on top of each other, climbing over each other, and you got a lot of people who weren't raised right and stink, don't brush your teeth, farting. You got to deal with other people's farts all the time.
And-
Then people always trying to get buff on deployment, so you just smell protein farts all the time.
Oh man. So is it all men on one? Like how does that?
Where you sleep at,
Yeah.
they'll do all men in one area, and then the females will have their.
But you still interact with the women.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
still-
how you met.
Y'all
your,
can't get
your ex.
funky on the ship.
I mean, people do.
Have you been
If
next
there's
to
a
it
will,
when
there's
it's
a
been
way.
going down?
No, it won't happen in the berthing. So you got to like find a quieter place to do it.
Like a janitor closet or something?
I'm just thinking about like pipes and like in a boat. Y'all
You
just
just
steam.
you just find
yeah, steam
Steam.
flowing.
you got to be smart about it. You got to kind of know what the MAs or like the military police where they check and everything, because you get caught and they'll put you on what they call restriction, which is like just being in jail on the ship.
What's the
Whoa, hold on, before you go on, Bashir, I'm sorry. What's jail on like? How's that like? Have you been on it? And what is that like?
I have never been on restriction.
Okay, so what is it like for the people who have been on it?
So when you're on deployment, it's not bad at all.
Okay,
honestly, because you're stuck on the ship anyway.
Yeah.
But when you're in port, which my roommate, he just got off a restriction.
Oh,
he got on restriction because he left duty. But what it is you'll have to show up. And they'll pretty much take attendance of you 4 times a day, which is, I mean, that's annoying.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll do it where they make you muster in a different uniform every time you show up.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's trash.
So what is your day to day,
on deployment?
Yeah, what is that? What do you do?
Specifically, yeah.
On deployment, you wake up, go to work.
What's work?
Work for me is I was an aircraft firefighter, so I'll go up to the flight deck and sit on our little firefighting vehicle for 2 hours, come in for like an hour or two, then go back out, which sucked because it's 120 degrees and we have on firefighting uniforms.
Damn.
Oh my God. Did you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are you for the firefighting thing? Are you gonna try to parlay that into a firefighting career when you're out of the Navy? That's
my plan. Once I get out, I'm trying to be an actual firefighter.
That's awesome.
That's
dope.
A lot better than Navy firefighting.
Yo, see, okay, so this is so wild to me. All right, so when you're on deployment, what specific countries have you gone to or been near?
I've passed a lot of countries.
Yeah. So where have you guys actually kind of stopped? Because you guys are allowed to get off the boat a little bit.
Sometimes.
Okay. So what countries have you been able to get off at?
So we stopped in Rota, Spain, Valencia, Spain.
Jesus. All right.
Portugal.
Those are some beautiful areas.
Yeah.
Italy, Turkey.
Italy. Those are Bashir's people.
What's up?
Colonizers. Anyway, go ahead.
They got us.
Bahrain, Dubai.
Okay. Jesus, all right.
Wow.
And you've been able to get off and just explore those countries.
Dubai is awesome. Dubai is a regular military. You're always going to hit Dubai.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time you go out.
It's that Saudi money.
So what's the funnest thing you did out there?
I liked going to Rome.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite port I've hit is Italy, because then I just caught a train for an hour and went to Rome.
So how do they treat American soldiers out there? Is it just you guys
in the Middle East? It's scary to me. Like Bahrain.
Yeah,
I went out in town. Like if I was ever go to Bahrain again, I would stay on the base. I would never. It's sketchy.
Yeah. So because Bahrain's a little bit different in the sense that it's not. I don't know if it's necessarily in all that turmoil, but it's still the Middle East, and it's still
just like people know.
Yeah,
of course.
They see a black guy in uniform. They're like, all right, he's a fucking.
No, we ain't in uniform.
You're just in street clothes. But they know that.
I mean, I'll fit in a little more than just a white guy would. But,
yeah.
Oh, so you could wear street clothes. You weren't required to always be.
They give us a dress code, but we are allowed to wear street when we're out in port. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which country would you say did you experience the most culture shock?
It's okay. Take your time, Kanye.
It probably would be Bahrain.
Yeah.
Bahrain looked like when you see a movie like in the Middle East, that's what it looked like there. It was creepy.
So it was you're saying a movie in the Middle East. What specifically about it was eerie?
Like it was just like, well, what happened to us actually the first night we went out? We have to be back at a certain time. So what happened was we kind of got lost.
Oh,
and we ended up going down the wrong street.
That's not. It's not the place you want to get lost at.
And we couldn't find because we have buses that they have run for us, and we couldn't find where the place was for the buses, and they tell us not to take certain taxis. And
why not take those taxis?
Just precaution.
Don't do it.
Okay.
They say you don't do it.
So it was like kind of like when U.S. athletes in Brazil were told not to go to certain places in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they tell us. We have restrictions and everything where we're supposed to go and everything. But yeah, so we got lost, and then the prayer music came on.
Oh.
it got scary. Yeah, it was really scary, and people were like, ended up walking down the alley that didn't have any street lights or anything.
And they're serious about that over there. Like everybody needs to
your whereabouts and.
So all right, so I've seen movies because I don't want to terrify the listeners about the Middle East and shit. Well, I've seen some places off of watching shows and YouTube series that are in the Middle East that are starting to become more cosmopolitan. Like Lebanon is a place. Well, they had a big time war there for a while, but there's cosmopolitan areas in that country. But I want to talk a little bit more about the places that you did really like. And I know you spoke on Rome. Did they in Rome? Did they treat you guys like? Was it any different in the treatment or?
Well, honestly, in Rome, they kind of looked at me funny because in Rome, their black people are African people.
Yeah, they're straight up. So they're dark. They're dark.
Yeah.
They're Bellin. Who's the nigga who played on the Italian national team? You know, Bashir. You still in this conversation, bro?
Mohawk?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Bellinelli or Bellatoni. You still in this convo, bro?
I'm here. I'm listening to this nigga talk about Italy, my nigga. Let him talk.
You did shut him down a couple times.
Nah. I've been in here.
When did I shut him down? What I say?
Listen now. Go ahead, Randy.
But yeah, Italy. They were just kind of looking at me like, "What are you?"
Oh, because you're caramel, however you say it. So they're just like, you're not.
You don't look like a
you're not all the way.
African.
You're not all the way
This
black.
nigga
This is
ain't
weird.
Yeah, and people in Italy are kind of rude.
Yes.
They're kind of racist.
Are they
too.
snobby
Yeah.
or like?
They're kind of rude. The bartenders are of course nice.
Yeah.
Where was it?
So what do you do for fun?
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Like
Answer that.
Like
out and about?
out in town?
Yeah, is this what you do here? Drink?
What
Or just in general.
What do you normally hear about sailors doing?
Drinking.
Yes.
So while you were in Italy specifically, and maybe Spain, did Spain have some of the same snarkiness, or was that a different dynamic?
When I went to this last time, it was probably my favorite port. We went to an island in Spain. It was called, was it Palma?
Okay.
Palma, Spain. It's like right above Belize.
Oh, I heard Belize. Yeah, didn't that nigga take a pill in Belize? Who's that nigga?
Ibiza, that's what I meant. It's right above
Cool,
Ibiza.
whatever.
So I'm glad you said that because that's it's right above Ibiza. It's an island above Ibiza, and they said Ibiza is better than this. But like, so there it's like they have their traditional part, which is like all the Spaniards and everything, and then they have by the beach where you just go to turn up, and it's like all British people.
Oh, that's dope. So British people are more accommodating.
Yeah, and they were very cool. And they we were walking up, and they knew that our ship was here, so they saw us, and they were playing some other random kind of music, some Spanish music, and they saw us, and they went in and turned on Chris Brown.
Oh, that's awesome.
Get out of here.
So they immediately were just like, we see the Americans.
They're trying to attract us to their bar.
Oh, you were happy.
That's awesome.
I was.
Did you ever have? Because you know, how, like celebrities and stuff, they always like go out and meet the troops or something. Did you ever meet any celebrities or anyone like came to speak to you guys? Any
We had
famous politicians or?
the first deployment. We had the plain white tees come.
Oh,
I'm sorry for my ignorance.
Hey there, Delilah.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey there, Delilah. Okay, all right. I didn't know their names.
Fuck with them. Don't put that fart shit on them, dog. Stop.
But normally the bigger ships will have like the better celebrities come.
Oh, okay.
Like you always see stories from people who come to your ship. Like some people had Jessica Simpson. Some people had when they were filming Avatar.
So what other bigger celebrities?
Wait, you said filming Avatar?
They were filming Avatar, and a lot of the actors from Avatar came onto the ship.
Zoe Saldana.
That's more like it.
Yeah. So
Nigga said Jessica Simpson like that.
I mean, I'm just.
They killed her off too.
I would have rather saw her than the plain white tees.
Gamora.
She actually did.
I knew one song.
Yeah. So
Driss actually has a question which he can't physically ask you.
Driss is sick, guys. That's why he's not on. Don't worry.
What is the craziest thing you witness in like absolute like I will never see that anywhere else?
That's gonna be hard to think of.
Or one that comes to your mind if there are several.
It's gonna be hard to think of.
So this is what I really wanted to ask. If you can't think of anything.
Keep that in the back of your mind.
When you're when you guys are off the the port. Do women tend to since you are U.S. Navy men?
Throw themselves at
Yeah,
you.
do they do that at all, or is it just more like, oh, all right, the gringos are here, you know what I'm saying? Like
Prostitutes.
So prostitutes are like that's really what I was trying to get at, like because I heard when people were when deployed in like Malaysia and shit like that. And,
probably places like that. Well,
Okay.
they're probably also prostitutes or ladyboys. But
Okay.
But like the reason why I've been trying to go to Australia so bad, but apparently
Ladyboys?
no.
I'm gonna say,
Desperation in his
Hold on a
I'm
second.
trying to get those lady
Hold on a
boys
second.
down under.
I'm talking about. They just said the women love Americans in Australia. Like I've heard the craziest stories about ships pulling in. Like I heard the ships are pulling in. They know you're pulling in. They'll like tie a picture of themselves with their number on it to a tennis ball and be throwing it onto the ship as you're pulling in.
and it doesn't even matter who you are. It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
I mean, you're considered they're foreigners. So if you think about it, when women like foreign men, you're considered.
So I heard
a
Australia's kind of racist though, Randy.
Yeah, but I say the niggas would hate you. And I say niggas, I mean the men that populate
So
Australia.
I also heard stories like, now I can't tell you how true these stories are, but these are older people telling us these stories. And like,
How old is old?
like older, like higher ranking and
Okay.
like been around the Navy for a while.
Okay.
Well, one guy told me a story that a lady took him to his house. Her husband was there. They were having dinner. Her husband was there, like just there. And they went to the room. Her husband was, like all that stuff.
Just accepted it. So he's a real life cuck.
I-
That happens here. I did that.
Wait, what?
That happens
You've done
here.
that yourself?
Did I say I did that?
Yeah, I thought I heard you say.
I said
it
that happens here.
I thought I heard
Yes.
you say after. That's okay. Fine. You didn't say it. My bad.
I
This
didn't
nigga's
hear.
bugging. Yo, Alpha out for me. What I do to you?
No, you're not.
What's
I'm not
going
out for
on?
you. I thought I heard you say it. That's why I was like,
No,
oh.
I've never been in. I've never.
I was like,
that'd be crazy.
We
But
didn't, stop interviewing.
I've
we
heard.
Didn't, yeah,
I've
no, I
heard.
was about to say,
I
we
know
need to
people.
stop talking.
I know people. But
who are these people that you know?
Golden State's losing. Yo, so
That was
Randy,
a good way
so,
of diverting
yo.
the question.
what is the funniest thing your sailmates have done?
have done.
Yeah,
You mean like pranks and stuff?
just anything. Just the funniest. Who's the funniest person?
Because this could partake this. Because I want to parallel. I love talking to Randy about his Navy life.
Jump in there.
I do want to because I want to hear what his friends are doing because we could parlay that into some other shit.
I mean, there's always jokes played. There's farting in people's faces. People fall asleep with their hands out of their rack, and people will go up and put their nuts in their hand.
Oh man.
And like the way it is like your rack is set up to where you only have one side you can get out of, and you have a curtain. So
Yeah.
people will like pull their cheeks out, fart in the curtain, and close your curtain.
Jesus Christ.
You would gas them?
Ew. Oven.
Yeah.
Dutch
That's
oven.
so
oven.
fucked up.
Dutch oven.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it gets pretty disrespectful. And
Do you have to just accept that, or do people like actually?
no, you got to do it to the right person. You got to do it to somebody who you know won't be mad about it.
Okay, yeah. So I was about to say like that could like start some shit. So have there been any like actual physical altercations
Oh, yeah.
between people? And what happens when that happens? When
Get put on restriction.
restriction?
Yeah,
Okay.
if somebody tells on you.
Oh,
See, the way the Navy has evolved is, I mean, you always hear the folk tales and stuff about how the Navy used to be. You know, you got the older people in the Navy who've been in there since they were 18, and now they 40 something.
yeah.
Yeah, the new Navy, you can't do that. the old Navy back in the day, yeah, I came over here and I got beat up, and that's all I could do. Or we had a senior chief telling us that he seen somebody kill somebody, put them in a trash bag, and throw them off the ship.
Do you actually believe that, or
No,
okay?
I don't believe a lot of things I hear in here.
All right.
I have a question. When would you recall were you the most terrified? Like when you really were
That's a
just
good
like, holy shit, I literally could die. I mean, I think you have that thought a lot, but
It was actually this last deployment last year. So we were coming back from Dubai, and
What stripper did you have sex with?
stripper? No strippers.
Prostitute.
lady man.
Go on.
So so we were coming back from Dubai, and when you come back from Dubai, you know Iran hates our guts.
Yeah.
You have to go through a strait that's by Iran, which they tried to tell us before that we can't go through it, but who are they to tell us what we can do?
Yeah, Iran's in the news a lot lately, but yeah.
So and Iran messes with us a lot. They pester us a lot when we're out there because until we do actually do something, but.
Well, they might have nukes. That's what we found out.
Well, have you ever had any surprise attacks to your ship?
Attacks? No.
Okay.
But so we're pulling through a strait in Iran, close to Iran after we're leaving Dubai, and I'm outside on the flight deck and it's nighttime and the helicopter shoots its flares off.
Oh my gosh.
One of our helicopters shoots its flares off.
One of yours. Okay.
Yeah, so when they shoot their flares off, what their flares are for, I don't know if you know or not, but what their flares are for is when something locks onto them, they're usually locking on the heat. Okay. And their flares burn really hot, so whatever missile will lock onto the flares. So when they shot off, initially I was like, that's a missile coming at us.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
And I got scared.
I mean, yeah, that's a natural human reaction.
I was like, that's a missile coming at us. Yeah. So I got scared initially, and then I calmed down. I was like, all right, maybe they were just testing out their flares, just practicing out there. And then like the next day on Facebook, there was an article about Iran, one of their ships locking onto our helicopter.
Wow.
Oh
See, because again, well, you know what? Fuck y'all niggas if y'all want to hear politics. Tune out. I don't care. Fuck. No, because Israel's I don't know if he's a prime minister or president, whatever the fuck his name. His name is Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was just like, because I think it was, I don't know what year it was, but Iran gave up their nuclear weapons, but he's saying that they haven't complied with that deal that they signed with the U.S. They still have nukes and they are still testing them out, or they have secret nukes or whatever. And that's what he's out there in front of the UN saying, yo, they still have nukes. So you telling that story is a little different. It's like, wow, okay, maybe I don't know what they're testing out, or you're saying they're latching on to one of your helicopters. That's a different type of story. Iran is a really big player in the Middle East.
Well, they both deployments I've been on, they've tried to pester us because the first one I was on, we were going through that same strait, and like I work where you can see out in the water. So there's these little boats like with guns on them, like probably 50 cals on them, riding. They were kind of far away, but you could still tell what they were. And I asked the Master Chief, what is that? And they said it was Iran. And I was like, they're just messing with us just to see how they want to learn our tactics.
Oh, okay.
But we don't mess with it. We ain't going to do it.
We're just there to be there.
Because you got to think about it. If we're going to do something, a sub's going to pop up and tear them up. We can tear them up personally.
Yeah, no, I mean, it would be, oh yeah, so you're saying your ship itself could eviscerate.
Those we could tear. I mean, and we got the Cobras, those, I mean, if you've seen it, you would know what I'm talking about. You've probably seen it in movies before. They're pretty much like a tank that flies.
Sure. Yeah.
We just send them out and they would get them. But I mean, they're just trying to see what we're going to do, but we're not going to do anything.
Well, so that's kind of why I wanted to even ask you even more so though. Like, do you ever feel like, damn, I'm out here in the middle of the ocean. I know I'm protecting America's freedom and stuff. Do you feel like you're underappreciated at all? Like, what you guys are doing out there fighting for our lives and shit like that? Like, is it?
Sometimes, like, you see things where people are disrespectful to the military.
Okay.
And it's just like, I mean, if you don't appreciate the military, I mean, I would like for you to see what would happen if there was no military.
Sure. Yeah.
But you can't.
So okay. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but the Kaepernick situation, then how did that make you feel? I
was with Kaepernick.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm just saying, like, because I know it's a weird issue for some people, especially you being in the military. See,
the thing about it is, I went into the military at a older age. Also, I wasn't like the military is built. Their boot camps are to break you down and then build you back up how they want to. But they can do that to some people, but they're not going to be able to do it to everybody. Yeah. So, I mean, I had already seen things. I've been in many racial situations living in Southern Ohio. So. Yeah. I know how it feels. I know what it feels like to Like, I respect what Colin Kaepernick did. He sacrificed. He doesn't have to do that. That man's making millions of
He
dollars.
sacrificed his career.
He sacrificed his career to be a voice for people who don't have a voice.
Yeah.
The people-
And for listeners who I don't really care how you guys feel about this specific situation, I just wanted to ask Randy to get his take because he's someone who's actually in the military. I'm sure there's other people in the military who feel different.
That's
You know
what I was
I'm
going to ask.
saying? So,
I was going to ask the same question right before you were about to ask it.
yeah, great minds
Have
think
you,
alike.
you know, we smart out here. Listen, have you?
I'm done.
So when that happened, were you out? Like,
No, I
outport?
was.
Were you here?
I was in. When was that? 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Trying to
here.
think.
Yeah, 2 years.
Two
I was
years
gonna say,
ago.
like, around in like the military. Did you see guys that were
I
against
seen
it?
people were against it.
What was their reaction?
This is the thing, not to be racist, but there's a lot of white people in it, and I understand why they're like this. Because if you can't understand, if you don't, a lot of people hate what they don't understand.
Sure.
So
Good way to put it.
a lot of people can't understand it because they can't put themselves in
Being black.
minority shoes or.
Well,
black
I
people's
liken
shoes.
it to women with like when the whole Me Too thing. There's sometimes I'm like, yo, you're just wilding, whatever. But sometimes I had to pull myself back and be like, you know what? I don't have a vagina. I don't know what it's like to fucking walk down the street and have to carry fucking pepper spray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're by yourself, well, I've walked down alleys drunk as fuck by myself and without a worry in the world. Literally.
I think-
But if you're a girl, that's a different dynamic. You're like, do I got my fucking pepper spray? Do I have fucking mace? Like, that's a
Yeah.
different. So,
But I think what you said was great. Like, unless you've actually been a victim and put yourself in a minority shoes or a victim's shoes, like, I'm not trying to underplay this, but getting your ass grabbed does not make you a victim all the time. Like, that's not a reason to be like, oh, I understand
that's
sexual
not,
harassment.
I'm literally
But,
not
you know,
talking about
like-
that.
But no, what I mean, like extreme situations, like
I got my
you know,
ass grabbed
whether
too.
it's
You feel me?
You're a victim.
But you know what's funny? But you know what's hilarious? We would laugh about that, but
Yeah.
if that happened to a girl, it sometimes
yeah,
makes women a lot more uncomfortable
a
because
problem.
it's not just a hand on your ass; it's an aggressive man asserting their dominance on
And-
you.
You're always
and
a
the
victim.
thing
That's
is,
the thing,
the
you're
thing,
always
the
a victim.
difference,
Yeah.
and there's a different dichotomy. If like I get my ass grabbed, it's I can still protect myself. For a girl, she
Yeah.
can't. It's
Yeah.
a different.
But right,
We
but coming to the
digressing, we
point, that's
digressing.
what.
Yeah,
Get
I just
back
wanted to get
to-
jokes off. Can we get jokes off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
see,
No.
yo, just shut up.
No, we're not-
just put a question. I do want to talk about gays in the military, though. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so that works. All right, cool. He just put up a whack ass
We're not
question about
talking
gay
about
people,
We're not
but it
even gonna
actually works.
bring
But
it
I'm
up.
actually thinking about it.
But so, are there any gay people that are out in the military that you know, or
Yes, actually, when I left out of here, which I didn't know it initially, the guy because when you swear in,
he was hitting on you?
no. But the night before you go to boot camp, they take you to a hotel to make sure you don't get
What?
drunk or anything.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
No,
going
no,
a
not
different
the-
direction.
no,
Oh, just to- oh, to
not
see
the
the
gay.
chill
test
out,
the
chill out,
military,
Sumie, chill out, relax.
No, no,
Go ahead,
no.
to
Ren.
test you, basically to see if you're
Like,
serious
just,
about this?
Just to not make you make sure you don't drink or anything. Make sure you wake up on time, not late.
Oh yeah.
So the guy who was roommates with me that night was gay.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
when did you find out that he was?
I didn't
gay?
find out he was gay until like we graduated boot camp and
Oh.
added each other on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So was he? Obviously, you probably was just like, yeah, cool dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so because I mean, I know you. I know you ain't homophobe. It's all good. But what I'm trying to say is like, do gay people get treated differently in the military? Is that like a different? If they're open, like, first off, here's the first question. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Do people actually come out? I know they got rid of don't ask, don't tell, but do they actually come out?
There are people that come in and you can just off rip tell they're gay.
Okay. So yeah, but okay. But
One
do
of
they
the-
let
one
you
of-
know that they're gay?
I mean, they're not going to just be like, I'm gay, but
I
but I mean,
They'll throw
They'll
out
make
the
enough
hint.
comments.
Yeah, they'll
One
throw
of-
it off a.
one of my favorite people that I work with was a lesbian.
okay.
Like I still keep in contact with her. She's
That doesn't
gone.
count. I'm talking about the guy. I'm just like, no, I'm joking. No, that does count. Go
We have
ahead.
to get
But
beat
yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, I'm
But
joking.
She's a lesbian. I keep in contact with her. Everybody knows she's gay.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually would try to change her straight, but she's very. She's just married to a woman now.
That's awesome. But that's dope. So people don't give a fuck in the military. Like,
Not necessarily. I mean,
well, depending on the age,
as long as you're not doing anything crazy, they don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean,
How speaking of just even like gay and sexuality, how big is religion played in this role in the military?
Being a Muslim, it might be a little tough for you because you might hear some things that you don't want to hear
type of shit
because of the
especially where you're at.
Yeah,
too.
But like,
how do you feel about that, Bashir? Do you want to join the military now?
I was never gonna join the military.
I mean, but we have.
Driss, how do you feel?
We have services for every religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
that's awesome.
Every religion has an opportunity to have a service. If they don't have a service for your religion, you go talk to a chaplain and they'll set it up for you, and you can run it if you want to.
Are they respectful of that, or like, would you get a lot of heat
in the rules? You have to allow a person to make it to their service,
like practice their religion.
Yes, and you're technically not supposed to really like. They have it to where one of your punishments can be EMI, which is extra military instruction. So you would have to stay later or whatever to do extra work, but you can't do it on someone's Sabbath.
Oh. Okay.
So say it's Friday, be Friday prayer, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it on Friday for Muslims. You can't do it on Sunday for Christians.
How about like everyday prayer?
Everyday prayer? I mean, you have your windows to go pray if you have to pray.
You just gotta make up that time.
Yeah.
So how's the dichotomy between the people who have different religions there? Like, they don't care?
You don't really see any difference. We had a guy he was a black guy. He was a Muslim. He would just go to the back corner and pray. He scared me one time because he was in the pitch black, and I tripped over him. I didn't know he was there.
That's great. All right, so we talked about the gays, the religion in Islam. Sorry, listeners, it's fucking Friday night. I'm drinking. Eat a dick. But wanted to the trans thing, because Trump came out and he was just like, "Yo, we're gonna ban trans people on there," and people flipped out about it. I want to know how you feel about that issue as well.
To be honest with you, I think it's something that they shouldn't be allowed.
Okay. And you know what? I'm not. Some people may hear that and be like, "Oh, well, he's trans." He's not. I'm not. So I want to hear your actual. Go ahead.
It causes too many problems, honestly. Because
what exactly?
Because to be trans, technically, you don't have to have the surgery to remove your pee-pees. You got to meet.
Your pee-pees.
So if you consider yourself a woman, that means you're going to stay in the female birthing.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So think about if you have a daughter that's on that ship.
Yeah.
And she's in the female birthing. You just got a man. People walk around the birthings naked.
Yeah.
So you got a man walking around with a.
Technically, they identify as a woman. Let's just be PC.
We
have Bashir here. We have to be PC.
You got a woman walking around with.
I'm about to slap you, silly.
You got a woman walking around with her meat out. How you gonna feel about that?
But can I just counter to that, just to play devil's advocate? I mean, at that point, you're on a ship risking your life. Is that going to be the worst thing that you're going to see that you're going to take home with you? Is that just kind of like, all right,
but you know how sensitive people are these days.
Right, but I just almost, and this is just me saying it, I just feel like if you're going to put yourself in that line of duty, is that the one thing that's going to make you feel so uncomfortable that it has to be banned? You know, that's the only reason I'm asking, because a lot of people would counter, you know.
So, well, I don't know how to necessarily counter what you just said, but one point that was made out that I don't know if I necessarily agree with, but it was a valid point to make. Our taxpayer dollars, like if they want to get a full blown cut off the dick, turn into vagina surgery,
the military will pay for it.
Yeah, well, the military pays for it. Subsequently, that means we pay for it.
Yes,
that's our taxpayer dollars. So, are you comfortable subsidizing their surgery?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
And also,
I don't have an opinion on this, to be honest.
But you do subsidize for now. You're subsidizing their surgery.
And also think about it as, what is it? Caitlyn Jenner, she says that she still likes women, right?
I don't know about her story, but sure, if that's.
But they say it's like
that's a scenario. Yeah,
they might still like they might still like the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have a penis, and you're walking around naked women.
Yeah, so Caitlyn Jenner would identify as a lesbian then, because she likes women. She was formerly a man, but now she
has a functional penis.
Yes.
No. Well, I think she cut it. I think she cut it.
Women's
her
locker
sexual
room.
Yeah, but like since she identifies as a woman,
yeah,
and she likes women, she's a lesbian. But she still, I don't know if she cut her shit off or not.
So would she be allowed in where Randy sleeps, or?
Well, Yeah,
Where would she be sleeping?
She would be sleeping, if she's considered a female, she'd be sleeping with the females.
So, see, that's the thing. Are they identifying based on their sex or gender?
Apparently, from what I was hearing,
or what they
because
identify as.
we
is what
actually
you're talking about.
like
Yeah, because your sex is your physical, but your gender is like male or female. That's what I'm saying.
as soon as this came into works, we had to have a course about it where they talked to us about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if she in Caitlyn Jenner's situation, she would be considered a female, so she would be in the female birthing,
even if she had the
yes.
Okay,
So that means that she's going to be think about it. You're going to see naked. I hear stories about the women's birthing all the time. And this,
Like what?
they're just walking around naked.
Like women do,
That's
yes.
gross.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
girls
was
do
gonna
that.
say.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
think
You live in a
about-
sorority house, you're going to
You
see
have
that.
this woman with a penis, and she's walking around with a boner.
All right, but think about this.
Yeah, because she's attracted to women too.
Well, all right, so there are women in there. They would say, "Yo, this motherfucker keeps having a boner when I'm trying to like cut my toenails naked. Like I'm not about this. Take this motherfucker out." That's the
Yeah,
thing.
so if they, that's a good
It
question.
just causes more problems
Well,
than
they'll-
needed.
they'll-
Well,
get him
I
out.
think he brings up a good point. If they complain about it, is there
Then they'll
something
be out of there.
They just that's the reason why they don't want it to happen, because it just causes more problems than there's needed. There's
Yeah.
already enough problems,
Yeah.
but you're just causing more problems by letting
Okay,
that
so
come into effect.
the trans ban on the military, I don't, it's not in effect, but if it were to go into effect, would you be, you're like, all right, or you're indifferent, or you don't?
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent. One reason
because it's not affecting you really.
I'm never being a birthing again, because after I'm going on shore duty, so once I get out of there, I'm done. But I mean, you also have it the other way. You have a woman going to man who goes into the male birthing, still likes men, still has a vagina.
Yeah. But she,
and that causes
she identifies as a man. Yeah.
But that causes problem because she has a vagina, and then there are some nasty people on this.
Oh, I know where this is leading.
So they'll still fuck her,
Yes.
basically. I don't know why you guys are alluding to
I don't
shit.
know. I was- yo,
What the
so-
fuck?
yo.
Yeah, so the guys will try to fuck the girl who identifies as a man.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because she still has a vagina, even though she's taking hormone pills or whatever. Or
Yes.
not. Yeah, it's steroids.
And
I was
which-
thinking about it on the other side, like as that person. Think if you were like a woman, but you think you're a man, and you're stuck in a woman's like birthing, and like, yo, I get it, y'all sexy and shit. I'm gonna try to fuck you, but I don't want to be hanging out with you guys.
And then it's just going to cause the
I'd rather hang out with niggas.
with hazing as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So wouldn't that be the same thing as religion? I honestly think that's like
I think
if
that's a
you're-
different.
Well, if you're super against a religion and you watch this man pray several times a day, do you not think that's going to cause hazing? I equally believe it will.
Doesn't all right? So to her point, does the don't they vet people out to see if they are,
Racist?
yeah,
Does that work?
No.
they don't.
I
Okay,
was
so
going to say,
okay.
there's no way that.
You know,
that
I mean, I know there's
100%
former
works.
people there's
There-
people who are in the military who've committed crimes afterward who turn into neo-Nazis.
There are
like-
people in the military who I think have Down syndrome.
That's not funny.
Yeah,
I'm being
okay.
dead serious.
I know.
I'm
You weren't
literally-
joking.
I'm
I'm
literally
laughing
like,
at the fact that those people are. All right,
Yeah.
go on, Randy. Go on.
You're
I'm literally looking at these people like, how did they get in?
How are you this slow right now?
So okay. So you're saying how's that different from religion? What do you mean? I want you to elaborate.
I'm playing devil's advocate because to be honest, I'm very indifferent about the situation. I
We
think
all
it's-
are, honestly.
Right.
I'm not in the military.
But
I don't
in my
care.
eyes, I'm just like, why is being homophobic or transgender phobic any different than being against a religion? Why is that any?
I think this is the difference. I think it's more so what he was talking to. They're walking through there butt ass naked, like not even butt ass naked, but it's just that dynamic of girl who identifies as a man goes into said room. Religion, yeah.
I would say a micro penis is pretty disturbing.
Sure.
And if you're walking around butt ass naked,
I
and the
understand.
man,
I understand. You're trying to get jokes off.
no, I'm
That
just
was
saying.
funny,
I
sorry.
just
No,
think.
that is. Alpha, why are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. I'm trying to.
Why are
I'm
you
tr-
so defensive?
I know.
No,
What's
no,
going
no.
on,
I'm
man?
trying to. I'm really trying to get this point. I'm trying because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how religion and
What I'm saying about it, you're saying it causes distractions. I would say that there are some people that are so extreme in their religion. Like, let's face it, there are enough religions that don't accept other religions. That is a distraction. If I'm so severely invested in my religion and I hate the Islamic religion, but I see this man praying several times a day. What's stopping me from hazing him? But why would I get in trouble for that versus attacking a transgender
You know why?
on there?
You know why? Hold on. You know why? Because the Islamic dude is gonna snuff that dude. They're gonna, as men. Hold on, no. As men, he's like, yo, you coming up to me about my religion, I'm gonna snuff you. When it comes to like gender wise, a guy raping a
finish.
a guy raping a guy in the cell because that guy has a vagina but thinks as a guy is way crazier.
And that's another thing.
But that's
also,
a point of view. That's not a fact. You're saying it's way crazier, but that is actually.
I just wanted because I didn't know how you were trying to tie it in. But I
guess
get
my
it
thing
now.
is like that's a law based off of a preference or a denial of someone's sexuality. That's not a fact that it's crazier than religion. It's not a fact.
It's not a fact, but
but you're making a law based off of.
But you're approaching it from just a
civilian standpoint, not somebody in the armed forces.
I want to know: has anyone ever been discriminatory towards anyone from a religious standpoint?
Honestly, not that I've
seen. Do you think anyone would be discriminatory towards someone who was trans in the military?
Yes.
Okay,
that was quick.
Yeah, that was really fast.
I can see it happen.
So that's see. I know where you're coming from. I know you're playing devil's advocate.
You also have a lot.
I'm also
of
going
people,
off for him. I'm just doing real life scenarios.
You also have a lot of people who are in the military who are from like really small towns who don't see anything like that.
Yeah. Obviously,
people don't like change.
We're
We're
from a fairly decent sized city. The first time I saw a trans person was like 4 years ago.
So and there aren't a whole lot depending on where you go, but
there's not a lot. Period though. Trans people make up like people 0.0003% of the population anyway. So.
A lot of people from the small city, and they might not even really be discriminatory towards them, but like they're from a small town that might like scare. They might end up going to the shower fully clothed. Just because it's just weird to them.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
just because they never experienced that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just causes more problems than needed.
So I don't know if we asked this question.
It adds to the problem.
So you would say that you're not for the trans ban. I don't think I'm for it just solely because I don't think you could stop. I don't think you should stop anyone who really wants to serve. If they want to serve this country. Yeah. Fine.
That's ultimately what I'm saying.
I think you should let them serve.
I understand that point. I understand that point too. But I understand where the people who don't want it are coming from.
Absolutely. I get the other side.
Yeah. They're coming from it's going to cause more problems than we already have because you already.
Would it bother you if you saw a man shirtless with the Nazi sign on his back tattooed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
I think if there was a guy with a Nazi sign tattooed on him on most of the ships, he wouldn't take his shirt off.
No, but but what I'm saying is that would make me even, I think personally, anything with religion makes me 10 times more uncomfortable when it's an extremity because there's just so many hate crimes based off religion, more than sexuality. There's a lot of hate crimes based off sexuality, but there is also that person that flaunts their religion, their beliefs, their morals, and forces it upon you. I find that more terrorizing being on a ship in close quarters.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, yeah, obviously, because sexuality and like religion is like two different things.
Yeah,
like,
sexuality people don't force that on you.
Me getting mad about you having a vagina as a man, I'm in the wrong.
No,
this is your preference.
Exactly.
Religion, I'm getting mad about your religion. That's still wrong too. They're both awfully wrong,
I mean.
bro.
There's history with religion too. That's the thing. The trans thing is fairly new.
It is new. It's very.
People don't like difference. They don't like change, man.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Well, you got to get used to change.
And it's also
they don't like anything different.
Some people don't see things like that. Like that's just like, and you know, a lot of small town people are just like super Christian and country.
Yeah, it's more of like this is what I've seen and grown up with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, how many times have we been as black guys been like, yeah, you know what, chill. I know this person, or just as foreigners too. Like, I know this person is bugging because they know they haven't seen anything different. I'm not going to act upon this.
Driss and I still to this day will walk into a restaurant and still get people to stare at us. Yeah,
really?
I mean,
what?
I mean, I think they can tell I'm not a black girl, or I'm most likely.
Oh, you're
Indian.
not even saying Indian. Like you'll get regular.
Yeah,
people
just like that's.
I mean,
think of an Asian and think of a 5'4" 6'4" Asian and a 6'1" Somali.
Those
looks.
Let me tell you something,
Every
bro. Let me
time.
tell you something. I see interracial couples and I just stare.
Looks.
Yeah,
You give us looks?
I see interracial couples and I just stare, but it's not even on some like, obviously it's not on some I don't hate them shit.
No,
it's just more like I'm staring because like,
it's
Sumie, but like the
Stare.
stairs but the stairs I'm talking about is the
you
get
get the
mugs.
Well,
Are you
hey,
talking about
like
from
the-
like?
what's-
You talking about from
Hey.
black women?
black women,
hate
Somali
that.
women.
Black women hate that. Black
I
women
think
used to
your
have
own
me
people,
scared
your
to
own-
take white girls out
yeah, seriously.
because
I'd say my own kind. A lot of Indian people would just be like,
That's what I'm saying,
"What
Somali.
do you
That shit is
mean
so
you're
I think
trash.
it's
doing?
your people's kind.
Your people.
and for the
Other
record,
If you're-
I don't
Other
only
gender,
like
your
white
people.
girls. I like
Ethnicity.
I like all women.
Yeah. Well, that's most guys. Most guys don't really care. Like, but
Look at you spreading the love.
But I am in the Asian phase right now.
I'm not.
Wait, wasn't your? We're not giving it. Wasn't your ex Asian?
She's kind of Asian. She said she wasn't Asian. She was Pacific Islander.
Specific.
I mean, they derive from they. They derive.
she
From,
looked.
So she was
looked-
like Samoan or
looked
something.
Asian.
they derive
She
from.
was
it.
Micronesian.
Oh shit.
I was gonna ask
Micro what?
before-
That
way
sounds
way
like a
back.
hair
I was
braiding
gonna ask
technique.
way back before the dating life on the boats. How was that? Like
Yeah,
around
I'll tell
you, not
this.
just
all
you.
Navy girls are hoes.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me.
Whoa, that's
talk
a
to me.
very wow. That's a hyperbolic statement. Do you not? So you're for a fact.
Okay, I'll say this:
What's ratio?
98.5%.
Where did you pull this formula out of your
Before these
ass?
numbers. Before these numbers. Yeah, before these numbers. What's the ratio?
of guys or girls.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's getting bigger, but it's way
On your
more,
boat
way more
specifically.
guys.
On like
So they have one berthing for women,
You say birthing.
which is like 400 something women on the
Okay.
ship.
Okay.
We carry without Marines, we carry like 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
With Marines, we carry like 2,000 to 3,000.
So 2 to
So
5.
there's just a lot more choice picking for the litter, so the girls can have more fun. That's great. Because in general society,
400 women, though.
there's more women
Huh?
than men.
400 women.
For without Marines, yeah.
Okay. So now talk about what's
About.
going on. Now they're all hoes? What are you talking?
98.5%.
So 98. Hey, Driss, you in the background. Come on, 400, 98.5%. So 10 of them are not hoes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was not good
You
math
have,
at
you,
all.
have a,
That was
you,
not
have,
accurate.
you have a very slim chance of finding a girl
Why you say this?
on
40 of them are not hoes.
40 are not hoes.
How often were you able to?
Now, that's actually 90%. That's what, like
that's a
40. Yeah, 40 would be 90%.
Why do you say this? Why do you say this?
Why do I say this?
Yeah.
Because I've
think.
witnessed it.
Why? Like, what happened?
That's what I was about to say. How often do you just run it? I mean, not run into.
They're,
them, but-
it's literally like if you ask any guy who's been in the Navy for at least 2 years, he will tell you the same. You might come in innocent. I hear about, oh yeah, she was a virgin when she got here, and now she just flapping in the wind.
Yo.
I mean,
Hold on.
I guess if you
What is
think you're about to
flapping?
die-
What is clapping? What's going on now? Driss. That
Okay.
was weird.
Well, I mean, my reasoning is, I mean, I guess if you think you're about to die, like,
No, it's not even that. I honestly don't know what it is. It's like I'm not even. But
Women are more sexual than men, though.
a lot of
whoa.
the Navy.
Well,
Yeah,
Sexual
no, they are.
beings.
They're more sexual
hold on.
than men.
I think it depends on the age. If you're talking about a 21-year-old guy, is
Well,
way more sexual
all
than a
right, well,
21-year-old
hold on.
girl. A 29-year-old girl may be more sexual than a
So
29-year-old
we
guy.
talking about who's in the Navy right
Oh,
now? What's
yeah.
the age range right now we talking about?
age most of the girls are younger most of the time when they come in. A lot of the guys come in older. A lot of the girls come in younger. But
I believe women are more sexual, though.
a lot of the
I'll believe it.
Yeah, they got way more hormones going through them than us.
Yeah.
No, women are. Well, it depends, like, because
I
women get
get
really horny.
age. Yeah, I get that.
During their early 20s. Or no, women are a lot more hornier during their late 20s, early 30s. Because no, their biological
Yeah.
clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Okay, well, but anyway,
But then there's a difference when they're
But
like stuck into like a ship
But most
and they can't go nowhere else.
These-
This is your only pickings you get.
yeah, it's
these
slim
these
pickings.
Navy girls should honestly be actresses.
Oh,
Like
Why
I
you say
ran
that?
into a lot like recently.
Really? Why do you say
the
that?
last girl I was talking to, she acted like she wanted to give me her life. But then
See?
like a Saturday I went out, caught her with another dude. Like Randy, I was like, God. I mean, I didn't care. I don't care anymore. I don't. I mean, you know what happened to me. I'm kind of numb to stuff like that now. But
Yo, hey, if y'all don't know Randy at all, Randy's a cold-hearted person now, and I hate it because Randy was such a sweetheart when he was younger, bro.
Randy's still sweet.
Pause that whole.
He's a sweet boy, bro.
Called him a sweetheart,
but yeah,
anyway.
like she was just initially she was like, oh, let me come cook for you, all this stuff. Then she don't text me back on the Saturday. I go out. She don't know I'm going out. I run into her dancing on another dude.
So is this the port that you're talking about, or this?
No,
is
this is like
on the
a
ship.
Couple weeks ago.
Yo,
like
y'all got a dance club on the ship?
No, that's hilarious.
No,
Damn. You got shuffleboard on there?
no, we got cornhole though.
So what do you do on the? What do you?
They're shuffling something else.
Oh, you nasty.
What?
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds
It's
nasty.
just a sexual innuendo.
Look, I love this whole fucking convo we have with Randy. What I do want to do is because we're gonna wrap it up probably in like 5-10 minutes or so, but I do want to get Randy's whole thought process when he comes back in town. You know what I'm saying? Because he be coming from, I know you being VA, you were overseas for a while. So what's it like coming back into town? For the listeners who don't live in Columbus, what's it like for you coming back in town, back in the city? You know what I'm saying? What's that like? I'm just saying, like you
Booty.
What? So you hate coming back here?
No, he's like, that's what I'm looking for.
You're looking for that. You're looking for that. You're looking for that.
I love coming back in town.
Obviously, nigga, he gets to see us.
I love coming back in town.
So you just love seeing us and you love hanging.
Honestly, when I'm in Virginia, I miss you guys because
Hold on.
I do because people in Virginia they're different.
Yeah.
What's different about that?
First of all, Virginia's nightlife is trash.
Really? So compared to here, it's just
yes. Like
really?
Here,
is it just more dead?
Like here, I can find something to do almost every night of the week if I want to.
We gotta specify what part of Virginia are you in?
Norfolk, Virginia Beach area.
Okay, all right. So you're saying it's
you're not
trash.
talking about DMV.
I'm not talking about DMV.
Yeah, DMV is a different dichotomy, but so like you're saying it's just complete and utter trash up there.
It's trash. I mean, you get tired of the same thing. You see, like this past weekend it was college week.
Oh,
niggas don't know how to act down there.
God damn.
People get shot every college. I don't know why they still do it. They were like
someone gets shot every week?
3 people got shot in an hour, all in one strip of an area.
Damn.
Like, why do y'all do this still? And I'm telling you, there's so many cops down there. It's not even funny, and people still getting shot.
It's reckless.
I went down there and it was ridiculous.
Jesus.
It's called college week. I guarantee you half the people down. I guarantee you more than half the people down there aren't in college.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. Look, hey, Randy's back in town, guys. I really love this convo. Randy, you gave us a lot of insight into the Navy and to like just
a different perspective.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I don't think we don't give enough praise to the people who do serve. I've been critical of how much money we give to the military because I feel like we could spend that here domestically and we could allocate that towards fixing up inner cities and schools and whatnot. But I love what you were talking about earlier because I really did want to know how you felt about these politicians who come in and they're saying, hey, we love our military, but they don't do anything for you guys. And you guys are out here fighting for us, serving for us. I love the talk about you guys going into Iran or not going in there, but just being in the Middle East. That's a whole different dichotomy in itself.
Yeah.
So this was fucking dope. I love that talk.
Do you want to say something on behalf of just like the armed forces, like something that you want to encourage everybody to keep in mind or maybe do just to support you guys?
I'll say this. Family members and friends who have friends or family in the military, we do not make a lot of money. So when we come home, do not ask us for money like we making money out there. We do not make that much money.
Is that a common misconception with y'all?
It very much is.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, oh, you in the military, you making money. Like, I make like $20,000 a year.
It's like you make enough to survive, basically. Yeah. And the benefits, even when you get out of it. So basically, you got to learn how to do a specific job in the military that you could parlay into a career once you get out.
Which a lot of them it's hard. Like you got to get specific jobs to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like your route. I like your route with the firefighting.
Yeah,
I feel like you thought about that ahead of time.
that's what's up.
But
What's up?
as I known Randy.
Cool.
All right, yo, hey, look, Randy, thank you for coming on today. It's Friday night, Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Everybody's going out tomorrow. Have fun, be safe, all of that shit. Again, social media shit. Follow us, Social Critics. That's social_critics with 2 S's. Follow Bashir on Instagram. I'm gonna give him a quick shout out. It's suck my fucking dick 1 2 3 4 5.
Mr. PC.
I'm gonna be the same nigga appropriating culture tomorrow.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about? Yeah, I'm gonna be out there.
You shouldn't be.
Oh my God, we're not bringing
Sombrero
this up
and
right
all.
now.
How- is that how
don't
you
do
say
that.
it?
Don't do that.
I don't give a
It's
shit,
sombrero.
nigga. I eat
Sombrero.
Chipotle too, nigga. Shout out to my Mexican
Alpha Flame.
All right, goodbye.
Look, no. We about to wrap real
we
shit.
done.
No, hold on. I just want to say, no, we are. I'm just saying, I want everybody to say their goodbyes. Everybody say peace, all that.
Fuck you, Alpha.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Fuck you, Alpha.
Love you guys.